You've made it to Life on the Back Nine, the podcast for those of us who need reading glasses, a retirement plan, and maybe a nap. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Danielle. We're talking real life, real estate, and midlife mayhem. Because apparently, this is what having it all together looks like.
So grab your coffee
Or your wine.
and let's tee off this week's chaos.
Welcome to episode 5, Marriage on the Back Nine.
Blending families and keeping the peace.
Round 2 of marriage comes with experience and a couple extra players on the course.
From stepkids to shared schedules to your house versus my house, blending families in midlife isn't for the faint of heart.
So in this episode, we're going to get a little honest and a little sarcastic about what it really takes to build harmony, find humor, and make love work. The second time around. Third in some cases.
If your family gatherings look more like a team huddle than a holiday dinner, this one's for you.
So hit play and laugh with us as we talk about the beautiful, messy art of blending a family. And it starts with marriage. Well, it didn't start with marriage, but that's where we are.
Started with dating in our late 40s.
50s.
Were you 50?
I was 50.
Oh, I was a little younger.
You were. I was your cougar.
Yeah, and we should start by being honest that it was your second marriage and my third marriage.
Yes.
We talked about how the only...
And high score doesn't make you better.
No, definitely not. We talked in our first episode about never failing a test, but the one thing I have failed at is marriage.
You have not.
Relationships.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
I grew up, my dad passed away when I was very young, and so I didn't grow up seeing a relationship, so I didn't really know how to navigate that, and it took 48 years to learn, so.
Well, I'm a product of a divorced marriage myself, so, my mother was married more than you. So was my dad. And so,
All right. I'm not the only one. So that's why you like me.
So I can't really say that, I don't think anybody has the perfect role models to look at. The Brady Bunch is not
Doesn't
real
make
life,
Yeah, we all wish that we could have that Brady Bunch life.
Yeah.
Maybe our kids will do better at it than we did.
Except for, how long was Christina's parents together for?
Oh, yeah. Christina's parents were over 50 years. My aunt and uncle, too. My aunt and uncle have been together since high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the gold standard
Yeah.
that we all
That
try to
doesn't-
achieve.
That doesn't make us any, it just took us longer to find the right person.
Yeah. I remember my mother asking me, she was like, I don't know how you didn't give up yet. But I honestly felt like being able to have a relationship, like relationships are the most important thing in life because you have them with friends, with coworkers, and your spouse. So to me, learning how to be in a relationship is a huge life lesson. I don't believe that God intended anyone to live alone. I really don't. So I feel like being, learning how to navigate a relationship was really important to me.
Yeah. Took me a long time to learn that.
Yeah, even though I sucked at it.
For me, I was married for a long time, and I won't get into all of the details because, I don't know who's listening to this. And, my kids don't need to, I call them kids, they're adults now. They don't need to hear all the details of it, but let's just say it should have ended long before that. And I made the decision to stay because of my kids.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time, whether staying was the right thing because I feel like I should have stayed and sucked it up, basically, so my kids could have grown up with both their parents. And then you give the opposite, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No matter when the divorce comes, whether your kids are adults or your kids are kids, it's going to break their hearts.
Yeah. It's never a good thing.
Irregardless.
Regardless. We'll have that
And that's a whole nother conversation. Irregardless of what she thinks, it's a word.
It's not a word.
So, the bottom line is, I guess you need to know when enough's enough, and not everybody is meant to be together.
Right.
And sometimes you set a better example for your kids when you are separate, being, not together. I don't even know how to put that in good words where everyone's going to understand, but sometimes you don't set a better example for your kids by staying together. Because for me, what did it for me was my daughter was getting older, and I didn't want her to see that this is how relationships are and how you should be treated, because at that point we were cold to each other, and I didn't want her to feel like that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. And I felt bad about that.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever easy.
Yeah.
And blending families midlife is never easy, but so far we've done a decent job.
Yeah, see, they were all adults, except for Josh, right? Right, they're all adults, and
well, now Josh is an adult, but when we first got together, he was middle school.
Yeah, and they never made me feel uncomfortable being around, like, who's this dude mom's got coming around? Yeah.
Yeah, no, my kids loved you right away. I think they love you more than they love me, but it's okay.
It was a
I've
little
tortured them for most of their life, so
it was a little more of a challenge on my side. So that they were.
Yeah. Well, because you two were together for 26 years, so that's heartbreaking to begin with, and then introducing them to someone new is.
And it was a shock to them. They didn't see the problems, which, good or bad, it is what it is. So we're better now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is good.
And, they're all the kids get along. We've got, 6 of them between the two of us, 5 grandkids, expecting more. Let's go. We got more room at the table.
Yeah, Sam said, leave me out of this. Yeah. Josh, too. We're out.
And so speaking of Sam, so we're going to go off of this for a minute, but I remember when he first moved in, and I wanted to have a quick talk with him, because we moved around a lot, and sometimes when you move into a house where it's like my mother married somebody, we moved in, or when she was dating somebody, we moved in, I didn't feel comfortable going into the cabinet to get food or go in the fridge. And so I remember the first thing telling him was, this house is your house. Whatever's in here is yours. Don't feel uncomfortable going into a cabinet, going to the fridge. I don't want you to feel. I want you to feel like this is your home because you're here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When we first got together, we each had our own homes, and then you sold yours and moved in with me for a short time. Then we bought a home together. But at that time, we were living on the seacoast. Sam had just gotten out of college and was living with his older brother. No one had kids yet. So,
they were expecting.
Yes.
They had.
No, well, I think when we first got together, they weren't even married. So Sam lived with his older brother for a while. And then once we moved back to southern New Hampshire, that's when my oldest son was expecting. And Sam said, well, they need room for the baby, and I don't think I want to live with them. So he moved back home. But that's the thing, finding space too. I mean, for us, it's a little different because our kids are grown. But for someone, when you're blending families, if your kids are younger, and there are plenty of people our age that have young kids. I mean, my brother's kids are, 8 and 10. So if we had gotten together and our children were that age, I mean, finding real estate with enough space for 6 kids, that would have been a challenge.
It would have been a challenge.
Yeah.
Although this house would have fit. I mean, I think nowadays kids don't always get their own room. I mean, I remember bunking up with my brother for years.
Yeah, my
we
kids
had
too.
Bunk beds, and then we separated those into 2 twin beds, and we lived in a room that was, I'm thinking about an apartment on Edward Roy Drive, and we lived in a little white townhouse at the bottom. We were side by side, and I think that room was probably 9 by 11.
Yeah. Yeah, my boys, I had 4 boys, so they always bunked with each other. And
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't always fun. They didn't love me for that, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, how many bedrooms can I have? I can't really afford more than 3 bedrooms.
It made them who they are.
No, they're awesome. And, you know, as we're coming up on the holidays, I feel like that's always a challenge too, because as your kids get older, they have 2 families. You know, they have their wife's family or husband's family and your family. And then if you have divorced parents, that's another family. And so I always feel like for us, we try really hard not to lay on the guilt. I mean, if the kids can come, we're super happy to have them. If they can't come, we try to be understanding about that.
The door's open. There's going to be some food left over. It might be pie. It's going to be a lot of turkey this year because somebody ordered late.
I think you have to be super flexible too. If everyone can't get together on the holiday,
You hear
our
that
dog
noise?
howling.
That is our other child up there howling because we are not upstairs and she hears us downstairs. So she'll stop.
So I feel like you have to be super flexible and maybe come up with another day that isn't on the holiday that everyone can get together. And even with the extended family, I mean, our brothers both have their own families, their own in-laws. So, you know, that's always the challenge.
I remember back when my grandparents were alive, and I always call it the tip of the pyramid, right? So my grandparents were the tip of the pyramid, and everybody came over there, right? So it might have been at different times, but it was the hub.
The hub of the holidays, yeah.
When you remove them when they passed away, you know, my father had 2 brothers and a sister, so it was four kids, and they each then had their own hub, and so then they had their traditions, and so that is if you haven't been there, that's a weird phase in life.
Yeah. And I feel like that's the struggle for us though, because our moms never really had that. You know, I feel like we went right from my grandparents. Well, I guess for a short time while we were still at home with our parents.
Yeah. Well, my grandmother in Alton, my mother's mother, died when I was young. I think I was either 17 or 18. But I remember for those years, we would always go over there, and that was the hub.
Right.
And then when my Nana passed away, my grandfather here passed away, and then my Aunt Terry and Uncle Bubba, they had their hub, and my Aunt Lynn had hers, and so that separation, you start to see that. It's such a weird phase.
Yeah. We're kind of struggling with that right now because we lived at home with my mom, and then when she sold the house, then it kind of transferred to me and my brother, but because I was divorced, and a lot of times I was living in an apartment or a really small spot, so my brother and I kind of shared the holidays. We'd kind of alternate, and you know, now that we each have our own families, it's kind of, my mom kind of feels displaced, like she's got to share the holidays, half with me, half with him. But
yeah, I mean, I
think that's what it is. I mean, she doesn't have a home, so we're not all under her roof.
Yeah, but we should go over there this year.
That'd be interesting.
You know, like, so for Catherine, you know, I can see where the struggle comes to try to schedule that, right? Because she lives with her mother. So we try to get her and Brian to come here for the holidays, but then they also have to spend it with Brian's family for the holidays. And then they always go to, you know, her Aunt Jen's for the holidays. So you're always trying to juggle things. And sometimes they've come here after eating 2 meals and all they want is a cup of water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But I think you just have to be super flexible. It is what it is. If they show up, we're grateful. Yeah. I mean, even if they make an appearance.
The door's open.
Sometimes they just leave with leftovers.
We're going to have dinners at whatever time. If you can come here at that time, great. If not, there will be a clean plate for you when you do show up.
Yeah. And I always try to include even the in-laws, because one of my daughter-in-laws she's an only child. So if she leaves her home, her parents are by themselves, which I don't like. So
Yeah.
it usually gets crowded here.
Yeah.
Luckily, we have the space for it. So that,
And that's okay because
yeah. I
we
think,
got the room for it.
yeah, I think finding a good, we're lucky that our home is small, but it's multiple floors.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids kind of hang out in the basement and play, and the adults hang out upstairs. So it's a good setup.
I fall asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
That'll never change.
Snoring.
Take it after my father.
Yeah. So blending families, midlife can be a challenge, but it can also be fun.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
I am too.
I found the right person.
Yep, me too. And if you're navigating all of this in midlife,
It may take a while. It took
Yeah.
me 50 years. A long time. But I had to make a promise I'd live to 100, so we'd be together for 50 years. And then I had a heart attack.
and then he had a heart attack, crash and burn real quick. I was like,
me.
that was like, what, 1 year in? I was like, oh my God, we just got together and he's going to die. And coming from a background where my dad died, I think that was my most difficult thing in relationships, was that like fear that I would love someone and they would die or leave. And so year one, he has a heart attack, and I'm thinking, oh my God, that was short-lived. It was great while it lasted. So I'm glad you're here.
Me too.
Yeah. So if we have quite a few more years together.
So remember, if you are blending families in midlife,
It can be beautiful and messy all at the same time.
all at the same time. So join us next week on episode 6 when we talk about
Education and how it got us nowhere.
So that's it for Life on the Back Nine. If you've laughed, learned, or just felt a little less alone in your midlife madness, share it with a friend. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Danielle. Remember, keep your head down, your humor up, and your mortgage current.
See you next week.
Unless we forget what day it is.